Okay. And allow record. Is it recording?
Yep.
Okay, good. So I just got to give you permission on a little thing. The more you know on this is going to be a good extended cold open today, man. It's going to be. I took inspiration from TLEV where they black and white their cold opening, so it's like black and white, and then when the actual show starts, it's in color. So
there you go. That'd be dope.
That's why you see the difference between the cold opening and stuff. But I mean, did you see Hornites Unscripted's new logos, man? We need to get something like that done.
Dude, Hornites Unscripted and that one guy helping him out. What's his name? David?
HHN Updates, David King.
Yeah, David from HHN Updates. Yo, those cartoon versions are impressive, man. I'm not gonna lie, I want that fucking shirt.
Oh yeah, we gotta hit him up for an East versus West collab.
Yeah, or the Blues Brothers one too.
Blues Brothers one is in the works.
Nice.
Ooh, but I don't know when
ladies and gents.
I don't know. Oh, I need everyone's. I need Zombie Chris's picture. I need a picture of you. I need a picture of Connor, and I need a picture of me and Sammy. So.
I thought you guys were the same person.
Well, we all got to be on there. So yeah, send me a picture of you when you get the chance. But
all right.
Let's get started with today's episode of East versus West. All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of East versus West. It has been a cool minute since me and Eddie sat down, but
like 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. But
I think it's been like a week.
Content's been flowing out though, at least with East versus West.
Yeah,
I think we're like on episode like 26 or something like that.
Yeah, we've been doing it for a minute.
We're flying by now. We're trying to get to that episode 100.
Hell yeah!
That's the next podcast to get to episode 100.
You'll have 2 podcasts that get to episode 100.
100, right? And then I gotta work on Shoot the Shit to get to 100. And then if we ever do a Booze Brothers podcast, which may or may not be in the works.
You heard it first here.
Get that to 100. Man, I got so many podcasts.
Like, I know that's like your thing, bro.
I'm becoming like the Kevin Smith of small YouTubers for podcasts. Like,
I've been wanting to do another podcast, like a solo podcast, just to try it out, but I don't know, it kind of seems a little difficult when you think about it, but I guess it's one of those things where you just gotta like do it.
I think you need a co-host for a podcast, my dude.
Yeah, and then I had that one idea, so either work with Losh or John or both to do a Halloween Hornites Hispanic podcast where we speak in Spanish and see if there's an audience demanding that.
I could do my best to speak Spanish, even though I don't.
I mean, we could have you on there and then put subtitles.
Right? Subtitles. Dude, that'd be like a whole new level of podcasting, man. Like, that'd be like a whole new level of just, we're going to do a Hispanic podcast based around Halloween Horror Nights. Like, that would be like, I think that would get attention.
Dude, I think there's definitely an audience out there that's probably watching your and I's video and other people's video and watching it with subtitles because they don't understand 100% of what we're saying. And some people traveling from, I'm sure, just like a lot of people travel from like the UK to Halloween Horror Nights, I'm sure there's a percentage of those people that come from South America, Central America, the Caribbean islands, and maybe don't know English that well. I'm sure in most countries people have some grasp of the language, but maybe there's an audience for it. We just got to try it out. But let's get into this episode of
today we're going to talk about some HHN updates since we haven't done that in a while. I know we've been doing a little coast comparison to kind of keep episodes flowing and, wait for some updates. And today we got some good news on the East Coast and some somewhat looking like bad news on the West Coast, but we'll see how things flow through in the next couple of months. But on the East Coast, at least, looking like construction is still moving along for HHN 30 and just the park in general. I mean, our buddy over Adrian at Losh TV just put out a Universal Studios vlog where he showed the construction for the new Raptor coaster. It's coming along smoothly, it looks like. And of course, there's been recently drone footage of flying over Universal Orlando for showing some new construction updates, and of course the Fear Factor live show.
And this right here pops up when you go to the Halloween Horror Nights website, basically saying that they're continuing and expect Halloween Horror Nights this fall, but with CDC guidelines. So when you pull up the actual website, they're already taking measures and basically saying it's coming. There's some updates on there as well. We'll get into that. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about ourselves. My name's Eddie from Eddytainment. I have a separate YouTube channel. You'll either be watching this on my channel or on the Nights of Horror. And then introduce yourself, my friend.
I'm Anthony from the Nights of Horror. And again, you're either watching this on my channel or you're going to be watching this on my co-host Eddie's channel, Eddytainment. So if you're new to this podcast, and if you guys like the content that we're delivering for both the East and West Coast, consider hitting the subscribe button for both channels. Of course, Eddie will be on his channel, does all things theme parks, horror related, pretty much anything lifestyle on the East Coast. And over here, we talk all things horror and cover all kinds of SoCal haunt events on the West Coast. So yeah, consider subscribing to both channels for podcasts, original videos, HHN updates, haunt updates, all that fun stuff. We're here. Also, be sure to check out our merch t-shirt, our merch shop in the description below. We have a bunch of new merch that just dropped. Of course, we have East versus West merch, and of course, face masks now available. So if you guys want to rep East versus West, wearing a face mask because we need to get by and get over COVID. And the only way to slow the spread is to wear a face mask, but might as well do it with the stylish East versus West one. So go ahead and check that out and pick up one, and send us some DMs or anything on Instagram or Twitter so we can share your beautiful merchandise on our pages.
Yeah, and leave us down in the comments ideas of things that you guys want to see. We appreciate you guys watching. So when you leave us comments, we take them serious, and we try to put out that content. So we actually had somebody comment in a video recently about our coast comparisons, and they requested something. So we will be putting that out. So if you have a request or something that you'd like to see, make sure to put that down in the comments on either one of our channels, and we'll take a look at it and see if that's something that we could potentially do for you.
Definitely. All right. Well, today's news, we talked a little bit about what's going on with HHN 30. Of course, lately we've been seeing construction happening with the most recent one I've been seeing is that the Fear Factor live show is going to be transforming into, I believe, Academy of Villains, right?
Well, I don't think they said necessarily what's going to be there. That's kind of the prediction of what it's going to be.
Yeah.
But what it does say for sure is that it's currently down in preparation for Halloween Horror Nights. And they already have over the big sign, they've covered it completely. And then they have like the little A signs, and an A sign is those little signs that sit like this.
Yeah.
They have A signs that have basically not a warning, but an announcement saying that this is the reason why this is covered up is because of Halloween Horror Nights. Another prediction that some people are saying is also that it might be Bill and Ted, which that's what I'm shooting for. We know that movie's coming out. We've seen the trailer, and they're a staple to the event. If there was a year that they would be coming back, it'd be this one because it's the anniversary year. And if the event continues, it makes perfect sense for them to come. And mostly if the event becomes something that a lot of people have been predicting, you and I have also predicted. We talked about it several podcasts ago, that it's going to be more of the foundational fan event. So since they're not able to maybe get with current restrictions as many people in the park, they're going to shoot for the people who are hardcore fans. And there's nothing more hardcore for a Halloween Horror Nights fan than Bill and Ted.
Right. No, I agree. And Bill and Ted has been away from the event for some time now. And that was actually a very big fan favorite show. Of course, parodying a lot of the iconic pop culture that is today, but keeping to the roots of the story of Bill and Ted, of the whole phone booth time machine and death and everything, which I think was an awesome choice. So if they do bring back Bill and Ted, I'll be very stoked to see that come back. It's been a cool minute, and especially with the movie coming out, slated supposedly this year, so that could change too because of the whole pandemic. A lot of movies have been being pushed back or slated for different dates. So I can see if Bill and Ted does get pushed back, it would have been perfect for this year. But I think nonetheless, even though it's the 30th anniversary, I still think it's going to be good for this year because that was a big part of Halloween Horror Nights' history.
Yeah.
So I would love to see Bill and Ted again. I hope that it is Bill and Ted. But of course, the more realistic view of things would probably be Academy of Villains, which is also a longtime show that's been at the event for some time.
Yeah.
So that could be probably so it could be one of two things. It could be either Bill and Ted or Academy of Villains.
Yeah. But imagine if you do make it out this year to the East Coast and your first time there is when Bill and Ted returns.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I saw Bill and Ted here on the West Coast, and it was a funny ass show. So I can only imagine what it'd be like on the East Coast. So we'll see what happens, man. But that brings us over to now. Is that really it for East Coast stuff? I mean, we've talked. There was a little bit of construction in the tent areas that's been moving along.
That's not it 100%. So I have seen some people posting up pictures, I guess, of something somewhere they've located pictures of the website with the frequent fear pass and the single day pass. That hasn't updated on the actual website just yet, but you can go on the website and pull up the buy one get one ticket. And just as a little piece of advice right now, I think the buy one get one might actually be a really good buy, and mostly if they end up not doing the frequent fear pass. Right. If they don't do the multi-night passes, this is going to be a bargain. If they do the multi-night passes, then this is useless, like I've said before in like last year's videos. But the differentiating factor is going to be, is there a multi-night ticket or is there not? Right. And then you also have the hotel packages. I also, I think we talked about it on the last podcast, so I don't think we need to go into it too much, but they have the auditions and what.
Right. No, so yeah, the ticket's looking like hopefully we get a frequent fear pass this year. So for the diehard fans, but it's a little hard to tell right now to see where COVID will be. And I think that eliminating that option would eliminate more people coming to the park as far as, the diehard fans, but so it gives opportunities to other people to come into the park as well, other than the diehard fans, the people who travel from all over the world or something. I know right now overseas, at least going overseas from the U.S. to overseas, like in the Europe area and stuff, there's been a lot of flight bans.
Yeah, there's restrictions.
Yeah, due to the whole pandemic, at least overseas, they have it a lot more under control than we do over here, which is kind of sad. But yeah, that's been the biggest thing. So I don't know what it's like coming over here. I can only imagine it'd be the same coming over. So we shall see. I don't know if there'll be a lot of overseas people coming down, but there definitely will be a lot of people in the States that probably go down to Horror Nights, especially because if this next bit of news is true, you'll probably see a spike in Universal Orlando HHN's attendance this year, which being it's looking like HHN Hollywood may not be happening this year. So rumors circulating. Go ahead.
You sound so sad when you said that. I'm sorry, bro. I'd hug you if I could.
It is sad, man. I mean, rumors. It's now nothing's been confirmed yet. Nothing's been official from the website. I'm just going off of what I've been hearing for rumors. So take this with a very light grain of salt. And from videos that I've seen,
you guys are like shutting back down and have nothing open. Like none of the theme parks have opened like they have in Orlando.
Yeah. Well, if Downtown Disney is any indication of what it's going to be like for everything else, I hate to say it, but we deserve to be shut down, man, just because of the sole purpose of no one knows how to social distance. No one knows how to wear a mask. No one knows how to follow guidelines. And it's just, there's nothing I can do, It's the people at the end of the day.
It's been a little crazy. And another thing that kind of stuck out to me when SoCal put out his video out in your Downtown Disney. Is it called Downtown Disney?
Yeah, Downtown Disney.
Okay. In your Downtown Disney, he walked over to the entrance of the park and there wasn't any social distancing markers, no tents or anything prepared yet, which was not a good sign. Disney had that well in advance. Universal had that well in advance. Like when Universal opened up City Walk, the first day, people already could see signs of the new measures for entering were already being established at those entry areas.
Right.
For Disney, at least from what I saw at through the SoCal video, there was nothing, not even social distancing markers on the floor.
Right. No, at least at our City Walk, they have that a lot implemented. They have social distancing markers at City Walk over here in California. At least from what I've seen on videos and stuff. I have not actually been down there myself yet to check it out. But from what I've seen on videos and stuff, it looks like there's a lot of social distancing markers, and they actually took it a lot more serious than what Disney did, which is very sad because Disney, if you really think about it, leads in the whole theme park game, being that they're the biggest company in the world and, you know, have a big reputation of them trying to be achieve perfection. And it's kind of sad that with this Downtown Disney video, that kind of failed them. It looking like Universal's doing a way better job at this than they are, which is very sad. And I don't mean to get off topic a little bit, but it's just it's an issue that needs to be brought up. I mean, Disney is supposed to strive to be this perfect theme park and company, and then all of a sudden you look at the opening day of Downtown Disney and it was just chaotic.
Yeah. And I mean, even you're not really going off topic, because although it's a different theme park, different event, not necessarily horror, what happens to Disney impacts what happens to Universal. So if Disney starts to shut down because things are getting bad, Universal may follow behind. If in the case that they were open on the West Coast.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, Universal seems to have things down pat. They've been doing pretty well with everything. On the East Coast, they've been open for a while now. Disney just opened recently. And once again, not to divert off the topic, but what happens at Disney impacts the neighboring parks.
Right.
Disney is the bigger of them. And but Disney did take everything really serious. They took a lot longer to open. They've implemented delays for previously announced openings, and now at least on the East Coast they're open, and it seems like they're doing pretty well on the East Coast. What I'm hoping is they basically take the plan that we've seen in Orlando, because although things have been spiking in Orlando and Florida in general, there's been no true cases that have been derivative of the theme parks.
Right.
So they've been doing a really good job of kind of keeping everybody safe once they get inside. Nobody's coming inside, getting the virus and being able to say, yeah, I most likely got it from going to Disney, or I most likely got it from going to Universal. That hasn't happened. There's been false reports of it that have easily been cleared up by cast members that I know, cast members that you probably know as well, which is kind of gross that people would do that, put out false information about a theme park that's doing so well and doing something during a time that's really difficult. The last thing they need is for somebody to spread fake information, but hopefully they could just take what's happening in Orlando and how they're managing it and implement it in California, and maybe implement it so well that you guys hit the ground running and are able to get your events on track.
So California, I'm looking at you. Love me or hate me for this statement. We were doing so good on opening.
Look in the camera.
And then you guys, everybody decided not to wear face masks, not to do the social distancing. California, I don't even care if theme parks open. I just want local businesses. I just want everything to go back to opening so everybody can make a living, everybody can have their jobs. Please, for the love of God, social distance, wear your face mask, and wash your hands.
Yes.
3 simple things. Yes, the face mask sucks. I know, because I work as a custodian and I have to constantly lift furniture in and out of rooms wearing a face mask, and it sucks. But I do it because I want COVID to end and I want to slow the spread.
Yep.
Wear your face mask, wash your hands, physical distance, and we'll be out of this. The longer it takes to not do those things, the longer we're going to be in this pandemic.
Yep.
Please just do your part. And that goes for the rest of the world. Just do your part, because it's kind of embarrassing that United States, the overall grand country in the world, has more numbers than overseas. That is just sad.
This is not something we want to be number one at.
No, this is not.
On top of that, just to support Anthony's statement, if you're going out, nobody's asking you to wear a mask when you're in a random area in the open. Okay. If you're deciding to go into private property, like a grocery store, any type of store, a theme park, a strip mall, put the mask on. That's it.
Yes.
This is private property. Okay.
When you get in your car, take it off, put on the AC, get a breath of fresh air, you'll be fine. But when you're in public, please wear your face mask.
Yeah. And when you're on private property, some of your rights are removed. You enter private property, now you abide by the rules of whoever that owner is. If you come into my house, right, and I tell you, take off your shoes, you can't tell me, no, I don't want to take off my shoes. Okay, then get the hell out, right?
Yes.
When you come to somebody's house, you follow the rules of the homeowner. When you go to a business, follow the rules of the business owner. Done.
And we love each and every one of you guys, but please just, for those who are following all that, I want to thank you personally, because it is stressful. It sucks, but it's what we have to do to slow the spread. Stay at home as much as possible. Go out when you absolutely need to, all that good stuff. But if we want to get past this, we have to do our part.
Okay.
And that is the end of the local bitching part of the podcast.
Yeah, we've been talking about that way too long.
I'm sorry. It just gets under my skin that I see like everybody always complaining about COVID, but they're not doing their part. And it's like, if we want to get this over with, we have to do our part. So that is the local bitching part of thing. Let's get back to on topic with HHN and Hollywood potentially not happening now.
Yeah.
Lately, of course, with Santa Clarita Jerome, shout out to Santa Clarita Joan. That guy's been amazing, but he has he's been going to the parks and getting us drone footage for all of us updaters who can't actually necessarily go to the park and get the said footage. And everything he does, I have to stress this one too. Everything he does, he gets permission for. It's legal. If it wasn't allowed, the drone would actually shut down. It's got something in its system where if it's a no-fly zone, it will actually shut down. He gets permission. He puts that over his videos before he starts them. So everybody who's curious, yes, he does get permission, and he does do it legally. So I'm just stressing that right now because I know there's some people out there that don't think it's legal. But it looks like in the Mummy Q, what was rumored to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre, construction has stopped, and it looks like they're starting to kind of put stuff away. Metro sets, construction has stopped. There's only 4 mazes that we've seen in public that has been made. Usually there's about 3 in the Metro sets and 1 in Parisian Courtyard. So we've only seen 2 in the Metro sets, none in the Parisian Courtyard. So that's been like that, according to our good friend Scott from SoCal Exploring. That's been like that for a week now. And that's not like Universal to do that. If they're going to do an event that's in like a couple of months, about 2.5, 3 months, they should be working around the clock to get it done, finalized, and everything. But everything's just stopped. Not to mention that Murdy actually tweeted a picture when it was rumored that the HHN Hollywood would not be happening. He tweeted a picture of the gingerbread men from Krampus, one of them throwing something, one of them drinking, and one of them kind of just passed out, which was kind of a sign of him being stressed out, it looked like. At least that's the way I took it, and that's the way a lot of the Booze Brothers were taking it as well. So it's not looking good for HHN Hollywood, and I hate to say that because I am one who really wants to go to this event. However, and I'll say this, and for the actors and everything, I'd rather there not be a haunt season in California if it means everyone can stay safe.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate accommodation that we would need to make.
Yeah.
If things aren't getting better.
Yeah.
And maybe that means that other opportunities appear for you, like a visit to the East Coast.
It's been in the talks, man. I'm going to see what this paycheck looks like. And if it's looking good, I'm going to book the trip.
Nice. And actually, to go back to the East Coast, again, something not too positive, but the event looks like it's moving forward. But there was some furloughs or dismissals of employees, and some of them were up there in the creative team. I believe it was Patrick Baylord.
I remember his first name was Patrick.
Yeah, I think it's Patrick Baylord, who I've actually met in person. when I was lucky enough to actually do the media event, and he did a presentation. The dude seemed awesome, and the event has been great under his management. I know that the way that they do it is they usually like split up houses, and there'll be a particular house that he is responsible for,
Right.
or a particular set of houses that he is responsible for. So, yeah, that's another bit of news that came out of the East Coast side. Unfortunate, but probably something that they had to do, and hopefully something that is just a temporary layoff to kind of alleviate some of the pressures that they've had financially for however much time they were closed.
Right.
But the event on the East Coast does seem like it's coming along. Also, I think about like 2 days ago or maybe a day ago, they released another drone footage, or not drone footage, a drone photo of the sprung tents for Halloween Horror Nights 30. And they're up. The one thing about the sprung tents in Orlando is a lot of the construction goes on inside. Once it's sprung, you really don't know whether or not something's going on or it's not. But I also did see, I forget who it was, but I was watching another YouTube channel, and they were in the Fear Factor stadium, because right now at Universal Studios, although they're open and they require masks, they have areas where you could take off your mask. And those areas are typically smoking areas, but they're also areas just for you to go and relax. And he was in the Fear Factor stage, and he could actually hear the sprung tent behind Men in Black. They were testing the sound, so he could hear the music. He couldn't make out what the music was, so we don't know what it was for, but they were testing out sound effects and music inside of one of the sprung tents. And you could kind of hear it a little bit in the video as well. So I know for sure that there was something going on, unless he was holding his phone up to the side of the camera and you can't see the phone on. Camera
No,
tricks.
that's cool.
But you could see the sprung tent through the trees, and
Yeah.
you could hear some type of distorted sound effects and music that was actually being tested out. So there's things going on inside of those sprung tents that once the tent is up, you really don't know whether or not the construction is still going on or what the hell's
Right.
going on in there.
Right. No, I agree. That's really cool, man. I just thought about it, man. It's gonna be really hell for me when if I make a trip out there this year, man, because I'm gonna have to get there a day before everything goes down, just so I can get on a good sleeping pattern, because I'm gonna be changing time zones.
I went to California, and I went to Vegas, and I didn't have that much trouble.
Yeah.
So hopefully you don't have that much trouble either. And honestly, I think when you go to places that are exciting like this, the adrenaline helps you out, and you kind of you kind of tough through it. Because when I was in Vegas, I went out the first damn night, and it was a good time. And then when I got to California, I went out the first night. I went and watched the Lakers game and all that fun stuff. So hopefully it's not too much of an issue, but getting there a day early will not hurt you.
No, yeah, and that's it. And then I thought about it too. I'm gonna do the day-night thing so I can experience Universal during the day, both Universal and Islands of Adventure, because I really want to hit those while I'm there. And then I'm gonna be there all night as well. So it's like, it's basically like I'm gonna get no sleep.
Yeah. What I would do is split it up. So a day when you're going to the daytime, maybe you don't go to Halloween Horror Nights.
No, I got to do it all, man. Got to soak it all in. Got to soak it all in.
Maybe get there like Wednesday.
What if I don't get the chance to come back ever again?
True.
So I got to soak it all in. I gotta push me and Sammy's body. If Sammy's gonna go, I still gotta talk to Sammy about it.
Samuel Jackson.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for news, really. I mean, East Coast looking okay for a go ahead, and West Coast not so much.
But fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. This one. Just please do your part. I don't even care if we get a haunt season this year. Just do your part so other things can open up.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's going to do it today for East versus West for the update for today. Of course, be sure to check out our merch T-shirts. Of course, the East versus West T-shirts. I'm actually wearing it right here.
Hey,
there it is.
That's the first time I've seen you wear it on the video.
Show.
Yeah.
I wear it all the time, though. Trust me, I wear it out in public.
Yeah, so do I. I actually wear mine all the damn time.
Yeah. Pretty much half my wardrobe now is Nights of Horror merch. So it's like, it's insane.
I just put in my edutainment merch order. So I'm getting a few hoodies, a few different color T-shirts, and
I still want to get a Eddie Tamas shirt and a Kicks and Whips shirt. So
I put up on my merch website, there is a Kicks and Whips shirt.
I know that's
So
gonna be the first one I buy.
I doubt anybody's been following me for that long, but if they have,
you've heard jokes on the channel, so you should know. But yeah, check out both merch websites. Of course, links for Eddie's going to be on his channel. Link for mine will be on mine. Of course, I'm going to work with Eddie so we can get East versus West merch on his site so he can promote that as well. So we can do the cross promotion. You have Teespring, right? You're on Teespring?
Mm-hmm.
So you can do the face mask too. So all that stuff will be available on Eddie's site soon, and then it's available now on my merch site. So go check it out. East versus West merch, T-shirts, hoodies, long sleeves, tank tops, girls' T-shirts, face masks, all available right now. As far and other merchandise related to Nights of Horror. So go check that out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels if you're new to the channel, and hit the bell notifications to be aware every time we put up new videos. Because we really are trying to make East versus West a weekly show. And we've been actually doing a really good job this year alone trying to do that, so that's good. But of course, tune in next week because we're going to have another coast comparison for you, and I can tell you right now, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one. And then the following week, I just got confirmation this morning, we're going to have our first, outside guests come on, scare actor, so that's good.
With many more in the works. We are both actively pursuing different guests.
Yes, and we're gonna go beyond Horror Nights too. I can talk to some people who want to come on the show that have been at maybe Knott's or at Queen Mary or whatever, but we're gonna go beyond just Horror Nights, and maybe if Eddie knows anybody from Hallow Scream. I don't know. I know you got a lot of Hallow Scream followers.
Yes, I do. I know a few of the scare actors from Hallow Scream. So over here at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg. Shout out to those guys. They always comment on my videos.
Yeah. So that might be in the works. So stay tuned because we're going to have a bunch of people coming on and talking some stories. Even if we don't get a haunt season, maybe it'll just be good to reminisce on the past and prepare for the future. So stay tuned for that. And we love you guys. Stay safe out there. Wear your masks. Social distance, wash your hands, and we'll get through this. Love you guys. See you guys next week.
Deuces.